Hello, I'm Congressman John Mica. Again, a lot of people in Washington in elected office talk about cutting government waste and government inefficiency. I've tried to do something about that, and in 2010 I produced this report. The title of the report says basically that the federal government must stop sitting on its assets. Now, that may sound like a pun, but it's really serious business because the federal government is the largest property owner in the world. You, the American people, own more property, but we have more vacant property, empty buildings, or underutilized assets all sitting there, sometimes costing millions and billions of dollars if you total it all up. So I tried to do something about it. One of the first hearings I held was at the old post office in Washington, D.C., just 2 blocks from the White House. We held hearings there until we got GSA to put that property up for bid. In July of 2014, along with Trump organization leaders, Mr. Trump and others, we broke ground with a shovel. And we converted that half-vacant, 400,000 square feet, half-vacant property sitting there, that old post office, with an annex behind it, a newer annex, been vacant for 15 years, into a revenue-producing property. It's going to open, 1,000 people will be employed, revenue coming into the taxpayers. Another example in this is the federal courthouse in Miami, sat vacant since 2007. Held 2 hearings, one at the vacant federal courthouse in downtown Miami, and then one later on at the community college. The community college tried to get the property. GSA and the government didn't respond. Sat vacant for years. Our dual hearings resulted in turning over this May that beautiful property. It's a historic old federal building to Miami Community and now State College, and it will be the center of judicial learning and also architecture. Around the District of Columbia, we took an old power plant that had sat vacant for 10 years in Georgetown, very valuable property. Got that put up for bid. Now we're told it will be hundreds of millions of dollars in investment from the private sector, federal government getting revenue. Back in our area of Central Florida, we held a hearing at Cape Canaveral. At Cape Kennedy, we have 177,000 acres, a changed public-private partnership with the space industry, no longer all government, but tens of thousands of acres, both owned by NASA, adjacent Air Force property, converting that now to business activities. So we lit the fire in our own backyard. Finally, in just Central Florida, we had a vacant nursing home in Baldwin Park, vacant for 2 years, sitting idle. We've turned that over by introducing legislation on the House floor the 9th of February and having the President sign the 29th of February, not a lot of 29th of February on the calendar, but the President signed that bill, and now we're going to be rehabilitating that vacant nursing home, have 120 beds for our veterans. These are just a few examples. Instead of talking about it, actually doing something about it, turning federal idle assets into revenue producers for the taxpayers. This is John Mica. I think I have some better ideas for the American people and also dealing with our federal idle assets. Thank you.